Hello boys and girls, welcome to the stream and good evening. How are you guys? So tonight we have a mission which is the same mission of the other day, with the difference that I made huge progress toward the mission, so I think we can really complete it, and maybe even do more, than that. Hello Sway. Let me see if I can find the chat link. No, I cannot. Okay, I think I have to go here, login. Okay. So what is our what is our mission? Our mission today is, I think I have it here somewhere. No, here. Our mission is to have workmanager.cpp compile, right? Workmanager.cpp is one of the main classes, if not the main class, related to crafting. So it's the one that is managing all the crafting, reading the transformation from the database, and understanding which objects are the result of the crafting. Also is managing the the chances to fail or to succeed, and all the calculations behind, right? So this class is huge, but the good news is that yesterday I did some work on it, and the previous day as well while I was traveling, and some also today after dinner in the last hour or so, and we are not in too bad shape actually, in the sense that if you look at the class at the moment, which is this one, Work Manager CPP, we have very few errors left, like 3 or 4 errors left. Right? I had to do some changes in how, let's say, we manage a few things. So first of all, I decided to have containers properly in, and this means that we have a new mapping that we didn't have before, and the new mapping is that everything that was gem container, right, this one gem container, is now PS item actor with an additional method which is called getIsContainer, which is telling us if this object is a container or not. So for example, a chest, a chest, or an oven where you have to cook stuff, or a table where you can assemble armor pieces. So yeah, this was one of the changes I had to do. Then another change that I had to do was related to the gem object. So, and again, the gem and the PS item actor. So I did some changes to those classes, and I think that now we're a bit more solid. So having those changes, mainly the one about containers, which are not tested yet, but say at least I converted some piece of the code to actually make sense and be a container. Yeah, let's say, work as a container. So our PS item actor now can also be a container. That broke few things around, right? So like in PS item, if you see, there are some errors, and so I have to go and check few things, but it should not be too hard to do, right? Should not be too hard to do. Here in Work Manager, we still have some errors related to messages that I have to analyze. I have to understand exactly what they do, and if you should still keep them or not. Yeah, so we will go through this class, through the remaining errors, and see if we can fix them all or fix some. And for example, this one is an easy one. I just have to do get item data, and it should be fixed. And then we will start maybe to do some tests. I don't know exactly how to test it yet, because this class is a bit separate from everything else at the moment. It's not yet fully integrated with our let's say items, and mainly with the UI. So it's not integrated with the UI. So I don't have a way to craft. I don't have say a command or something that I can click and craft. But this is something that we can create maybe in a simpler way at the beginning. Okay, so let's go through this. So we still have a few errors like this one. It seems that it's trying to find a new, yeah, it is getting use PID. I think we should get it from the old code. It seems to be a function on PS server, which in our case I think it will go on game state or game mode, right? Get unused PID. This is an interesting one. What is this thing doing? It's doing unused PID minus minus. Okay. We're setting this though. It is really not very clear to me. We're setting this class. I mean, we're setting this variable. So unused speed start at 0. It seems. By the way, we're also live on Twitch, so you can connect to YouTube or you can connect on Twitch as you prefer. The Twitch link is this one. Okay. That's the Twitch link. Just trying to see if I can get the link, let me say, to the chat of both channels, so I don't have to look at both sides. I can just look at one. Maybe it's a bit easier. Okay. Okay, seems I cannot get it at the moment. So unused PID, start from 0 and then it does nothing. How is it possible? Minus minus unused PID, so it's just removing one from this. I'm a bit surprised that this code is doing something then. Set PID. I don't understand what this is doing then. It's just setting it to -1 and then it will be set by something else. I don't get how this works really. I don't get how this works. Get unused PID. Transform target item to NPC. I have no idea. I think we can, for now, we can leave it. I mean, I don't understand exactly if this is even used. It seems to transform an item into an NPC. I don't know what this thing is doing. I have no idea what this thing is doing. It's creating an NPC, but okay, let's just comment it out for now. I don't think we need it at the moment. Okay, so we can just pass in a -1, which it seems to me that is anyway what it was doing. So it was just sending a -1, and that's it. Let me check what else we have. So so we have another error here, which is add trigger. No instance overloaded function. NPC dialog add trigger message element list. Add trigger. Let me check which parameters this guy wants. This guy would like to have a const char, okay, which is basically the PID. another const char, an int, and an int. So I think this is all okay. The only difference is that, as usual, this one is an f string. So I think we can teach her to answer this, and it would be fine. Right? Let's not spend too much time on this one, which anyway is a function we are not using. So we have only one error left. That would be amazing. No, we have two at least. So here we are. Let me just understand where we are. Start transformation event. Okay, so we are transforming an item, and we have our work game event. We set this event. Okay, we are manufacturing something. We are creating something. And hello soup. And here there is a class that seems to be a message for the client, which is PS effect message. So let's go and check in the old client what was this related to. Okay, let me see if there is any documentation. So it's saying this message is used to manage any effect the server wants to send to the client. Okay. So it's basically a request to render an effect. Okay. So like a spark or something. What is it taking as parameters? Is process get render effect? Okay, so do we have in our processes some effects? That's an interesting question. Let me check if we have in our database. Like if I search trade processes, it seems from the code, yeah, there is a render effect, but it's all empty. At the moment, it's all empty, at least in the dummy database. So it seems there is nothing here, but the code is supposedly. So I think we can just leave it out for now. I don't care about this. Let's put you fix me should be reintroduced. Introduced. Yeah, check in production if we have any effects set. Okay, because maybe there are none, but let's see. For now, let's just comment out this piece. I don't really care. Then what we are doing here? Send the animation and confirmation message to the client and nearby people. Okay. So it seems that here is trying to send an animation so that people see that you are doing something specifically when you are activating a specific process. So it is just an example, but this is like cast, craft, greet, or whatever else. These are all the animations. So I think it's fine. I think we can use this. Actually, I did something similar in another place where we had the not the greet animation. I think it was still in this class. Let me search for asset. How was the name? Asset animation. There it is. There it is. Then we will have to configure it somewhere else, but I think that for now should be fine. I don't remember if this is exactly the same. Let me search this one. No, let me search this one. No, this one. I want to see in the old code if we were doing. Yes, it was the same override action animation, so it's exactly the same. Okay, good. Good. So we can safely reuse this piece of code. So what it's doing is basically sending an animation. The way I've done it now is to use static load object, which is an Unreal Engine function, which allow you to load a specific specific animation. This is not the best at the moment because he has like hard coded this part, which is one animation for a specific character. So it cannot be this way in the future. For now, let's leave it as it is, and then we will see. Okay. And then what it does, it goes on the actor, it get the mesh, and it actually plays the animation. So yeah, it's multicasting, but who cares? The only problem is that delay, because actually it seems. Let me check this delay. Where is delay coming from? Delay is here. It's calculate events duration. I don't know if this is sent at the end, you know, or at the beginning. Because I mean, Unreal doesn't have a time unless you set a timer for it. But what it does, it just plays the animation, and you can say if it's playing continuously. Like if it's a craft animation, you can play it. You can play it continuously. And then I think that what we can do is that when the crafting is completed, then we can play the idle animation again, right? So this is probably the best way. So what I would do, I would, for now, I think we can play the animation in a loop and just select the cast animation, but then we will have to create kind of a table, you know, kind of a, yeah, like a lookup table where based on the character we select the right animation and we play it. Or maybe there is a smarter way in Unreal, let's say to have let's say the animation named one way and with a specific name, and then you just call it and it's the same for every character, right? But I don't want to solve it now, right? Okay, so we can remove this. Maybe we can say that we can keep it just to say if delay should be added to the function above. Okay. Now the actor. The actor in this case, I think is the owner. I'm just not sure why. Are we inside style transformation event? Yes, we are. Message multicast, work event multi. Because he is sending it to everywhere, but yes, to everyone, but yes, he's using the owner at the end. He's using the owner, so I think we can use this owner as a recipient of our animation. Okay. Okay, so we remove this error as well. So it seems that there are no more errors in this class, but let me compile. I think there are still a few in PS character because, as I told you, I had to do some big changes, and those big changes have affected some other classes actually. By the way, I think the title of the stream is wrong because we are at 76, not at 75. Let me check that. I think in our live streaming, didn't we do? Yeah, we did 75 already, so this should be 76. I think I messed up in the description. Yeah, it should be 76 crafting and containers. Okay. Yeah, there are a few errors left. 7 errors. 7 errors. So add to container. Member function already defined or declared. Okay, so maybe I had defined this add to container already. Add to container. Here we are at line 333. Okay, I have it here, but this is a different signature because here it has a bool and here is an int. Ah yes, but it is here again. There is here again. Why I declare them again? Was originally in gem NPC item. I understand why. Okay. No, in gem container. This was in a gem NPC item. This one was in gem container. It seems that I have it twice. By the way, it's incredible that I have at 1333 and the other one is at 333. Anyway, so do I need to? Let me just check. I'm in the same class. Here I'm inside PS item, okay, and here I'm still inside PS item. Yes. Why is double then? I just copy pasted like in a stupid way. I think I did. Protected price. So I think we have a big duplication because we have, let me split it for a second so that we check, but I think if I go to 1000 whatever, we have add to container here, yes, which is duplicate. We have can add, we have add to container, which is duplicate as well, remove from container, which is duplicate as well, and remove from container. Then we have another remove from container, which has different parameters. Then we have the can take as well. Yeah, it's the same. It's exactly the same. So I think I can just remove everything here, and we can leave the one above. I don't know if I have also double implementation because maybe I did this piece already and I didn't realize I did it twice. Just waiting the compilation to complete. Let me just check if there has been any check-in on the SVN update. No update at the moment. Okay, sorry, I was just chatting with a guy. Yeah, still compiling. Takes a bit because we did some change to the H file. Wow, 75 errors. Why so many again? Okay. Yeah, I think there are some dependencies and probably why is complaining about this? Yes, I think there is still gem object in few places. Inside, so guard actor inside guarded area. I think we need, unfortunately, I mean it's a bit painful, but I think we have to do it. We need to remove all the gem objects at this point, otherwise it will become pretty messy. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Gem object obj item to remove. I think this item to remove is now equal to obj, so we need to convert this to this. and then we can say just equal to item to remove. I know it's a bit stupid, but just to keep the compatibility with the naming. And item to remove at this point is a real object. So being a real object, I think we can call not get PID, because item don't have a PID. Well, actually they should have something similar though. They should have why is not working? Why is not giving me the IntelliSense still? I think he's thinking about it. It will take 2 seconds. By the way, it's really hot in Italy these days. It's like crazy. I mean, it moved from like 25 to 39 degrees in like a few days. It was raining, and now is, say, really hot. Okay, let me check if we have PID something. No, we don't have a PID, but we should have the ID. No. Get stats ID. Yeah, I think it's, well, I think we can use get stats ID or get unique ID. I think we don't care too much about that at the moment, because here we are just printing out what we are removing, you know. And I think it's perfectly fine. Is an integer just saying that we are removing that particular object. Maybe we could also print out the name of the object. It would not be too bad. But in general, all these messages, they were using IDs before. Now they should use directly the objects. So this gem actor, I think it should really go. This gem actor doesn't make any sense. Character ID. Getting character ID. You see that in most of the cases our objects are still working on IDs, and that's really not good. That's really not good. We need to pass in directly the object. So for example the character and not the ID, because you see that here is doing a search for the ID of the character to find out the actual entity, and this one is actually an APS character. But in theory, if we could directly, instead of get guardian character ID, if we could get the guardian character directly, would be easier, right? So can we have, no, unfortunately we don't have any, we only have the ID at the moment. Yeah, we only have the ID, but I think we should change this in the future. It's pretty stupid to go through the ID and then having to do a global search like this, because this is searching on all the characters, right? And even if it's relatively quick, because we don't have like thousands of players, and even if we had thousands of players, it's just a for loop, you know, on 1,000 objects checking one attribute, so it's not that bad, but still is completely unnecessary. So yeah, so this one, I think we have a translation for the find player entity, and the translation is this, but I think we should fix it sooner or later. I would put a you fix me just to remember. I was saying remove ID and pass in the real object, the real character, the character pointer or whatever, the APS character pointer, right? I think it's not a great idea to have it like this. I mean, it works, but he has to go through an unnecessary search. So here I think I did some changes because I wanted OBJ. What was OBJ? Item actor. Remove actor. I think we can do this now. I think we can do OBJ. I think one day we will go through all the EU fix me. There will be really quite a number of those. Okay, let me see if there are more errors. Okay, there is one here, but yes, because I changed this to item actor. I did it recently. And what else? I think that's it at the moment. Okay. There's no one watching on Twitch. I mean, people are watching on YouTube, but not on Twitch. I think we should advertise it a bit more, maybe. I don't know how to advertise on Twitch, really. If not, because I placed some keywords like game development, U4, and MMORPG. So people searching those things should come here, but I guess not many people on Twitch are looking at development. I'm more looking at video games. Okay, yeah, we still have few errors. Let me check. So this one, okay, I know is item actor, which is fine. Still few errors. This one also I know how to fix because I did it already. We just need to get the item data, and I think that's it. And here also we need to get the item data. And this should be fine. Client, client is still client. No, client doesn't exist anymore. Client field container message. This one should become APS character. Should become APS character and field container message. Yes, item. Split it. Field container message. Let's change it to APS character, so it's a bit better. So now also this error should be gone in theory. Let me recompile while IntelliSense is thinking about it. So I think we're pretty close now. There must be very few errors left. So after this, what we have to understand is how then to do at least one test, right? At least one test. The problem is I think that we need to be able to keep items in our inventory, because the crafting system is relying a lot on which item you have in your hands and what book you have in your mine slot. So that may be, something that we have to look at. APS character has no member, get client none. Okay, I understand. This one should become get unique ID. Okay, so also this error should go. Client get character data. Yes, get character data doesn't exist anymore. Now we are getting a bit of additional work due to the fact that I'm changing the old gem objects to our Unreal objects, and so this is why we are getting this additional error in PS item, which is a class that we fixed already a long time ago, but it is because I'm doing additional passes for cleaning, for cleaning the class and improving it, which is what we are doing. So slot ID, say container content. This one I think we have to understand a bit better. Let me leave it for last, because that one I think is a tough one. Let me see if the others are simpler. Item data. No, item data, I actually removed it. So on PS item. No, well, item data. I'm on PS item, right? Yes. So item data. Let me double check. But item data is not on PS item. Huh? He's on PS item actor because he's yeah, exactly. He's on PS item actor. So I don't think we need to do item data something. I think we can just do call this function directly because this function should be here, defined here on this class. Yes, exactly. I don't know why I added item data. It's a bit risky though because here we are comparing two objects. Wait. It is a bit risky doing that change because here. Let me check something in the old code because I think we are working on two separate objects and I think I'm messing up. I'm messing up something. Come on, just searching through the files. PS item can add? Okay, yeah, probably is right. It's not on PS item. It's on gem container. So let me check because we moved it from gem container to PS item, right? And this means that we are. You see, this is comparing two different things. One is the actual item, that is the one that is passing in. Okay. The other one is item data, which is item data get container max. Yeah, but I think it's correct anyway. We want our container size here, and we want the item we need to move into the container. Okay, I think it's correct. Now this one should become APS character, and so client now is an APS character. Container item get item. This confuses me a bit. Let me see what it was in the old one. So in the old one he had, okay, the client and the item. So if this person can take this item, then is doing this get item. Get item. What is get item doing? Get item is on gem object. It's just casting it. Okay, so it's just trying to get to understand if it's an item, but I think is so it's basically itself. So this one we don't care. We don't care at all. This one will never fail for us. Will never fail. I think we can remove it because here it was transitioning between it. We can do this. We can say container item equal to this, and then we can check that this is valid, right? But these two lines are doing nothing basically. I mean, we can leave it for compatibility with the past, but it's not really needed. It's not really needed, boys. So what's next? Check for NPC on the locked container. Okay. We still have some system errors, really. I think I removed them all. No, because these are the classes I added, that's why. Okay, so we have to convert this, because these methods we just added to PS item, that's why, right? So send system error, we know how to convert it. It's something that we did many times. It's just these 2 or 3 lines. So, and by the way, this one doesn't even have parameters, so I can just do this, which is even simpler. So this will be 1 line. And the only point is to understand who is the recipient, where the recipient is client. Okay, so this is done. Get character data doesn't exist anymore. Guarding actor, here is the same thing, right, that we did before, where we are searching the player from the ID, which is pretty stupid, but I think we will have to keep it. Yeah, let me copy the same 2 lines. We will put them here as well. So this becomes guarding actor, and the parameter we want to search is guard. And we want to, are we inside PS item? Yes, but we need an item. Well, we can go client. We can go client, get world, get, and blah blah blah. Right? Inside guarded area, this one is taking a PS item, so this one should be get item actor. Okay, I think the system is working pretty well at the moment. I got a hang of it, you know. I got the it seems familiar to me when I look at it. Okay, now what? This also should become an APS character, for sure. And this add to container, I think it should also be fine now, because we changed it to APS character. And this get item, we have seen it already, is just a way to get the actual item, so we can remove it, and we can remove this as well, I think. Yeah, should be fine. Then push smart, let me just copy APS character. Push smart, I think is a bit of a complex function, because it's searching the item. If it doesn't find it, he adds it to the array. So for us in Unreal is actually 2 lines. So he search this item in this array. If he doesn't find it, then he adds it to the array, right? That is what push smart is doing. I think it's fine. Then we have item list delete. There's another client here. Okay, should be pretty much done, huh? Because we are, yeah. Let me try to recompile again so we get the real errors. But I think we are very close to having it compiled. I think we are very close to having it compiled. Hello guys, I see someone joined. Welcome to the stream. We are working on crafting, and in particular we are working on having this class work manager properly compiled, which will enable us to execute at least some of the crafting in the game. And we're very close, because we have few errors left, very few errors left. So I'm just going through them one by one and seeing if I can fix them all. Okay, there is still an item list delete. I think delete is actually a remove. If on an array, yes, is a remove. So this should be fine. And what else? There is an update view. EID doesn't exist anymore. EID doesn't exist anymore. Why we don't have it anymore? This I don't know. Let me check in the old code how it was, because it seems weird that we don't have it. Gem container, remove container. EID. It's actually the EID of the gem container. Okay, I understand. So this one, I think we can do. We are in PS item though, so I don't think we have a get ID. We have a get stats ID, but this we don't really need. So I think we should do get item actor, and then on item actor we do something like get unique ID. I think that for now that is the most similar to the EID that was there. This one we will have to review anyway, because we have to decide how to manage unique IDs in the game. At the moment, I mean, the old plan shift was basically generating a unique identifier for each of the items that were actually loaded in memory from the database. So in the database, you just have the base stats, and then every item is an instance. So for every instance, it was generating a new ID. I mean, Unreal does pretty much the same, and the unique ID is this guy, right? So I think we can basically associate the old entity ID to what Unreal is calling the unique ID. I think we can do that. So the same here. There are a few more EIDs here. There is remove and set container ID. Yeah, I don't know exactly the difference between EID and get UID. You see that this one seems to be another kind of it should be the same though. Get item, so this one was going on the actual PS item. It was getting the unique ID. The unique ID you see, items are initially created with a UID of 0. Save generates a unique item ID. I'll just don't understand if this one is the one that goes in memory or is the one that goes into the table, into the database table, you know. Seems to me that is the one that goes into the database table. Yeah. Because here I think it's generating a new container. Add to container. Set container ID. Get item, get UID. Now the problem is that here we don't need to have our let me see if we have get UID. Yeah, we have it. We actually have it. So now I'm wondering if the other one that I changed, this one, should get this unique ID or the Unreal one, or should get our UID. Update item view. What is this thing doing? It's just updating on the client side the view item update. It is a bit of a tricky part. I think we will have to revisit it. This one I'm not 100% sure that what I'm doing is correct. I think that probably I would keep, even if he's using EID. Okay, let's keep it like this, but I think that when tested, we will find some bugs in this piece of code, I'm pretty sure. In this part specifically. I think I'm messing up something there, but it's too complex to figure it out now without a test. So it's much simpler to test it and then see if we have an error than trying to understand it fully. View item, what is this thing doing? Yes, this is the one that I left for last, right? The one we said I leave it for last because it was the hardest one. So I think I did a bit of a mess here when I changed this function, because set container content is supposed to take, let me see the old code, because I think I did one change. And so set container content, send container content in PS item is taking the container ID. So to me, if it's a container ID, it means that it's representing the actual item, the actual container, right? But for some reason, you see here, this thing is passing in a slot ID, which is so weird. Why the hell we are passing in a slot ID? Send musical. So or this one has been a wrong copy paste, you know. This one, inventory slot number, view item, view item, yes. If it's a container, it sends the container content. If it's not a container, depends on what it is. You may send crafting information, book text, sketch definition, musical sheet, and send item description. So, okay, so if it's a container, it's sending the content. Just very, very surprised by this slot ID. I have no idea why it's not container ID. I mean, logically here it should be container ID. So I'm sending the content to this client of this container. How it can be that I have the container ID in slot ID? But the old code is like this, so the old code works. So we can check maybe this view item, who is calling it. Because maybe we decided to reuse this function for both cases, you know, the case where you have the container and the case where you have the single item. And at the end we ended up placing, okay, let me check, view item, message type, view item. Okay, but I want to see where this is called. It's called here with client container ID, inventory slot ID. So weird. Container ID, slot ID. It's always the same. I mean, it's always passing in the container and the slot. But it seems that our code is then using the slot when it's a container, which I don't understand why. Unless what it means is that is the slot of my inventory where that container is. Yeah, probably that's what it is. Probably that's what it is. This piece is a bit of a mess though, because I wanted to simplify it, passing in the actual container item instead of the ID, right? The problem is that in this case it really needs the slot ID. Yeah, so I think I have to revert it back to what it was. I think I need to revert this thing. Let me check. So PS item send content. So instead of this, container ID. I'm a bit confused if I'm changing the right one, but I think so. I think it's correct. So here we should place again container ID like it was at the beginning, because I tried to change it to the actual item to avoid searching for the item and stuff like that. But let me see if this container ID goes anywhere. Can you see it? Container ID. What is container ID? Is it outgoing container ID? Outgoing, because it is sending a message. View container description. Well, it's actually in a part of the code that we commented out, but we will have to add it now, I think. But so container ID. But why the hell we are passing in the slot ID instead of the container ID? That's a mystery. Well, we could check very easily on the client side when we are receiving this message, what happens, right? Because on the client side we will receive this message, and I want to see. I think I have to do entire solution, unfortunately, but I want to see on the client when I receive one of these thingies. One of these messages, what I'm doing, what I'm unpacking. So, okay, so here we are when we are sending the message. So we are packing the message, getting this information in, and we are adding the container ID. Okay, it's fine. Now I want to see when we receive it. When we receive it, view content. This is still that. Yeah, this is still construct message. Anyway, all of this we can skip. It's just the basic class definition. There should be another place on the client. Hello, see someone joined. Welcome. There must be a place on the client where it's handling this message. There it is. Handle view container. Here we are inside the description window. It is handling the view container. Now let's see what he extracts from this message. Message renameable. Okay. Message item name. Message item description. Now we should do a check if there is a container. If container ID different from messenger container ID, then new container. Container ID, blah blah blah. We don't have a lot of comments on this, unfortunately, this piece of code, which is a problem. Get total containers load. Setting up container. It doesn't seem to read the slot ID. It seems always to read the container ID. I don't understand too much what this piece is doing, but it seems to be using container ID as, message container ID and not message slot ID. You see? It's getting two parameters. The first two parameters that it's getting, well, it's getting format above, but then it's getting container ID and slot ID. I don't know. I'm a bit confused. I think we have to test it because I don't know exactly why, but I'm very confused that here there is this setting on the slot instead of the container. Okay. I mean, okay. Let's leave it as it is. So here will be container ID. And I just have to change the H file. This one is back to container inventory bulk. What was it, like that, or what was that? Wait a second. Here we are in PS item, because now I have to revert to what it was, and I just want to be sure that I do it properly. Current document, I think is this one. Yes, it was equal to, okay, it was basically this. Okay, fine. Fine, let's leave it as it is for now. We don't care. We don't care at the moment. Also because this parameter is used only in the part of the code that at the moment we commented out, which is basically the messages sent to the client, the request to visualize the content of a container, like a chest. Okay? Let me see if we still have errors. I think we still have a few, but we're making good progress. We're making good progress, boys. Good progress. I think there are like 10 errors left or so, let's say, but all work manager should be fine. I mean, if he compiles, I will just check it in. Container inventory bulk undeclared identifier, really? Well, I don't know. I mean, it's defined here. Go to declaration. It's actually inside. Okay, it's an enumeration called slot containers, which is an enumeration. Let me see if we can find this anywhere in the current project, because I think I have it defined somewhere. Yes, I have it. It's inside gem.h. Originally, where it was in messages.h. Okay. Okay, I think we can leave it in gem.h and just do an import. Yeah, I was expecting this to compile already, but it's fine. Actually, we have gem.h imported already. Should I do this? Maybe he likes it more. I mean, it's not required for all the enumerations to be, to become Unreal Engine enumerations, but I think it may be after the first pass where we will have everything ported, the way it is today in PlanShift. Maybe we will do another pass and just try to make the code a bit more, closer to Unreal. Because like many of our enumerations are just integers enumerations without the ability to then be called by blueprints. I mean, it's not that we need it, but okay. Why is complaining about this? Anyone is -1. Okay, so -1, GG, do this, and be happy, okay? Because I don't want to spend time in trying to figure out why you cannot include a freaking enumeration which is on the, yeah. Okay, let's leave it like this. Let's just leave it like this. So if you guys prefer to watch on Twitch for whatever reason, the only difference is that Twitch at the beginning has a small advertising that I cannot remove. I mean, it's not me that added it. It's just the fact that Twitch is just putting an advertisement when you launch the stream, but it's not my fault anyway. But if you want to, also I'm not getting the money out of it. But if you want, you can also go to this URL, and there is the Twitch channel. I'm trying to stream at the same time on both YouTube and Twitch. It seems to work pretty well from the point of view of, technically it's working okay. 19 errors. We still have errors, crap. Why? Okay, one is this one that we knew already, which is exactly the reason why we changed it back to an integer, right? So I just don't know exactly what I have to do here. Let me check the old code to have it as it was. Not here, but here. So this one was getting, the ID, the EID of, okay, so we can do get unique ID of this guy, and then we will see if this works or not. Then we have few more issues saying that can add already as a body. I think I converted them twice. It could be annoying. Let me check, but I think that I converted these methods twice for whatever reason. So we are at line 1000, and we are at line, yeah, I converted them twice, boys. Let's see if I converted them exactly the same way. I don't know, actually here I converted it better. I converted it better in the new version, so at least the work is not wasted. Yeah. So I can remove, I think I can remove all the ones like can take. I think I have also the can take. Yes. I think I converted all of them exactly the same. Well, with the difference that here you see there is still a number of you fix me, while here I converted them properly. So Our new version is definitely better. Maybe those two functions I needed for something, and so I had to convert them anyway, so but we can remove them now. These two we can remove. And we just keep the one that are the good ones, right? Also remove from container, I can remove. Or not, no. Remove from container. Let me check how many we have. We have one at line 4000. Yeah. I have it in two places as well. I did a bit of a mess with this thing, but okay. Yeah, all this one with you fix me are older, so I can't remove that. I can't remove that. Also, this one already has a body. Add to container. Let me check. Add to container. No, this one actually I don't find it, but oh yes, is here. Is here. Let me see if there is any you fix me or if those two are exactly the same. Seems to be identical. So let me remove the older one, which is this one. And then I guess there is also this one, which is removed from container, PS item. Yes. You fix me was EID. Yeah, also this one can go. Okay, here we have a different error. This one is related to how to start work. Cannot convert argument 2 from PS item to EPS item actor. Well, actually, parameter 2? I think we can just use work container and that's it. Work container should be work container is already a PS item actor. I think this piece of code is to be changed. Yeah. This piece of code is to be changed, unfortunately, but okay. It's fine. I think I have to change that. But here I think we can just use work container and it will be fine. And here there is a PS item to work container. Really? It's the opposite? Okay. Then in this case we can say get item actor and it should be fine. Okay. So we fix that. The same is here. Same problem. And there is one left, which is exactly the same problem. Right. Because we switch it from I don't know if it's correct that we switch it this way. Let me just double check to be sure 100%. But this was a gem container, so in our new world should be an APS item actor. Yes, I think it's correct. Yes, correct. It's fine. It's fine. F7, compile, and see what happens, boys. See what happens. More errors? But few, eh? We are at 7. We are down to 7 errors. Not too bad. Not too bad. So, I know this thing. Okay, this problem is because I decided to have trans array. Okay, this one is easy. Let's do the easy one first. Get item data. And item data, yes, it should not be called this way anymore because I make it protected. So there is a get item data or something. Ouch. No, this is not what I'm doing. Set item data. I think there is a set item data equal to item. Associate the logical item to the PS item actor. OBJ is what? OBJ. What is OBJ? Don't see it. I see it. PS item actor. So yeah, it's correct. Submitted that item. Yeah. It is fine. I think this should be fine. Then we have another small error here, which is exactly the same. So we should do set item data of this. Okay. Very few errors left. If you're wondering what I'm eating an ice cream. A very small but nice ice cream. Let's check this one. Get tribe. We didn't implement tribes yet. Well, we didn't import the tribes yet, but there is some code that I had to port no matter what, because it was included in the work manager. Cannot convert parameter 1 from HPS character to NPC brain. Okay. So in the old code, it was NPC. An NPC I think NPC is our NPC brain, no? I'm confused now, but it should be. Let me set this other function that we converted, for example. Come on. Why so slow? Dump hate list. Yeah, I was taking NPC brain. So our NPC in the old world now is NPC brain. So why doesn't like it? Let me search another one. For example, NPC tick is declaring one variable at the beginning, which is an NPC type. Cannot find NPC tick. Why? NPC tick is inside NPC manager. Cannot find it? Okay. NPC tick. I tell you what it is. Is here. Should be here. No? I renamed it. Okay, I think I renamed it to NPC client tick. That's probably why I cannot find it. No? Oh my god, why I cannot find these things? Let me search this. It's not in this class. Okay, I understand. Okay, easy. Where was it? In NPC brain. Yeah, but you see that it's declaring NPC, and so NPC is our PS NPC brain. Let me just type this because it took me like 2 minutes to search for this, and it should not be like that. So let me maybe add to this picture also the class named NPC. The class named NPC, which in our new world becomes PS NPC brain. Okay, so that we have the mapping. Otherwise, maybe we get confused and we don't remember. You know, it's better to have it printed out so that we can always reference to that. It is not very necessary, but anyway. Okay, let me save this. So NPC maps to NPC brain, okay? That's the truth. So if that's true, how is it possible that Yuri doesn't like it? It's saying that argument 1, yes, we convert to NPC brain. We are going in with NPC, which is actually the character, I need to get the brain of this guy. I think we have a get brain. Do we have a get brain? We don't have a get brain. We don't have a get brain. Let me check 1 second in our file. So NPC brain is here. It goes through the controller. So if we are in PS character, we have to go first to the controller and then here to get the brain. If he has a brain, because he's not sure. He's not sure. So I think we should do. This is an APS character, right? There is an APS character which may be a player or an NPC. So it's not fully granted, you know, that is an NPC. So if I do get controller, actually, I may get a player controller, or I may get a PSAI controller. So I think we need to do this check before. So we need to say something like this: APSAI controller, right? And this I will call it AI controller is equal to cast of APSAI controller of this thing. Oops, of this thing. So if is valid, meaning that our NPC, our character is actually an NPC, then I do this. If not, means that, and so here I can do get brain. I think here I should have get brain. Yes, here I have get brain. If not, well, if not, it means that we are trying to, I don't know, call the tribe code on a player, which makes no sense at all. So I think it never happened, but otherwise, if I didn't do this, I would not get my get brain function to be called. So okay, I think that's fine. What else? We have 1 error left. I think we have only 1 error remaining. Which I think is the toughest one, though. Or is the one that's a bit annoying. Yeah, we have 1, which is this. So why doesn't like it? PS trade transformations. Trans array, cache manager, find transformation list. So I'm assuming that this function is returning this type, which is an array of trade transformations. Okay, fine. Then I try to do trans array num. Okay, I think I understand why. It's a bit stupid that we do this, though. It's a bit stupid. So I have to do something like that. No. Wait, num doesn't have the. Maybe like this is enough. Yeah, I think like this should be enough. Let me compile. Drum roll. Do we have a drum roll? I absolutely need a drum roll. It's not there, unfortunately. Sounds. I created a new folder called sounds. Let me search for a drum roll because we will need it very soon. Not drum roll. Drum roll high quality. 52 minutes? No, 52 seconds. It's too much. I just want a drum roll of like 1 second. It's cool though. I like it. Okay, we save this one because this one we will definitely need. Okay, so yeah, we have 2 errors left, boys. Well, 2 errors. Two check VA. The check VA is one of the passes of the compilation where it's basically checking the consistency between the printfs and our parameters. And it seems there are a big number that are not compliant in Work Manager. But the good news is that there is usually a very easy path to fix. Like I'm just adding this, and this. And it means also that all the big compilation problems are solved. So yeah, so it's something I can do pretty easy. Pretty easy. Get name, repeat, that's a number. Repeat, get name. I think I converted all these functions, but I didn't actually take care of the escape. At least I did on a few. This one returns also a string. This one is a const char. This one is a string. This one is a string. I think it's the same if it's a ulog. Yeah, I think it's exactly the same. If it's a ulog or if it's a printf, the theory is the same. I'm just trying to fix them all. It's a bit easier to do it this way instead of waiting the compiler to give you the errors. You know? So I just going through them, seeing where I may have missed a few. Actually, I missed quite a number. Okay, let's have him. Let's compile. Let me see this one. Reward. No, this is all okay. Okay, let's try compile now and see if he finds any other. Well, one is here in front of me. This one. I think I can just go through the whole file manually. It's probably quicker, but check VA. Check VA. Get actor, get name, also reward is a string. Yep. He catch them all. It's insane how he catch them all. Work manager, there is another one here. New item, get name, yes. This one seems to be okay. These are okay. Let's compile. Drum roll. Didn't go. It didn't go. There are still two more. Well, there are I think many more, but I try to check which ones. Okay, there is a item array, get name, count, get array, get name, output, check VA, get stack count. This one is the one I just did. Boy. It's compiling. It's compiling. Fuck, it failed. It failed, but we are not scared about these errors because these errors are just super easy to fix. Okay, reward is a string, so we need to escape it. Why it didn't? Okay, the next one is get name. Has to be escaped as well. Get name has to be escaped as well. Let me see if there is something else. If something I can catch, you know, like this one, like this one. Yeah. Like this one. There's still a few, there's still quite a number. This one is correct. This one is not. The monkey that did this work didn't pay much attention. Which was me, by the way. Okay, seems this part seems okay. Let's have it compile and see. Compile and see. Unfortunately, didn't go. Still 2. It gives the error 2 by 2, so we never know when it finishes, because it gives the error. It doesn't. I mean, it stops on errors, and so after 2, I don't know why on check VA after 2 errors it stops. So we're getting 2 errors at a time, which is kind of annoying. I think there's still 1 million, but trying to skim through the file and see if I see any. F7. Ah, only 1. Only 1. 1 is pretty good. It means this is probably the last one. Get item, get name. Okay. Let's try, boys. Didn't. Do you think that this sound at the end is like an ending? Let me see. Yes, it does. Trum. It finishes. Still 1. Why is it getting 1 by 1 now? It's usually getting 2 by 2. New item, get name. Let me skim through the file. Get UIDs, okay. New IDs, okay. This one is okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. New ID. Should be kind of fine. Do you believe it's the last one? I don't believe it's the last one, but let's see. Let's see. No. Why is giving 1 by 1 now? It would be easier if he gives me all of them, so I can fix them all. But it's at the end of the file. You see? You see, you have the marker. We are at the end of the file, so there are few left, very few left, like this one. This one. Stack count, get name, there is another name. Get name, also all these ones, get name. Item is locked. I think this one, I never remember if I have to change them to text or not. Probably yes. But we will see. There is another one here, get name. I think we are at the end of the file. There are chances. There are chances, boys. Crap, still 1. In which file? The same file? Work manager. New item, get quality, resulting quality, get name. Yes, there was still 1. Just giving those to me 1 by 1. Okay, we have 1 uninitialized variable, which we don't really care. Let's see, chart target. What do you mean by not initialized variable? Why I casted this to the same one? What did I do here? What is this line? What is this line, boys? I think it was not supposed to be this way. I think it was supposed to be something else. Wait a second. Was transformation type. Let me see. Transformation type. Get transformation slot. Okay, we are here. Then he's trying to get from gem target. Yeah, it should be gem target then. Why I'm doing this? What is gem target? Anywhere. So this one should be gem target. Casted to this. To APSK, because gem target by default is an actor. Yeah, is an A actor. Okay. We may be there. Do you believe? Do you believe or not? And done. Build succeeded. You cannot see because it's too small, but I can print it out here. Build succeeded. 0 fail. You see this 0? 0 fails. Very good. Okay, so we succeeded in the compilation of that. Which is very good. So wow, so work manager compiled. Oh my, work manager compiled. So mission accomplished, boys. Mission accomplished. GG! We accomplished our mission. Pretty good. So work manager is working. Two ways working. Is compiling. Now working is completely another thing. So let's see now. So let's change our mission. Now we will have a very short mission. So the mission work manager must compile. Done. Believe it or not. You don't believe it, huh? Done. Okay, now we have another mission. This one was for the glory. Now we have another mission. The next mission is cannot be green though. It needs to be black. The next mission is the PS server. PS server is starting without crashes, right? After the fact that we have added now work manager, because we did so many changes, boys, that maybe we launch it and it crashes. So let's see. So let's delete the DLL here. So let's do a clean compile. Do I want to launch it in debug mode? Well, actually, I don't really care. I can launch it also normally. Okay, so let's launch the server and see if it runs okay. I need to compile it. I mean, to compile the bridge DLL between the editor and the server, which is something I never got exactly why we need to do this, but we need to do this. It's taking a bit. It's taking a bit. But it's normal, huh? Absolutely normal. If I do push-ups every time this thing compiles, I will be like an Olympic athlete, you know? Maybe it's a good idea. Programming and bodybuilding at the same time. I would like to solve all these warnings sooner or later, but All the ones that are hiding, you know, hiding members, I think I should fix them. Not now, but you know, maybe doing 2 or 3 sometimes randomly. All these ones, like class member, hide class member, all these ones, pretty stupid ones that I think we should. I can put them here, like in the parking lot, and sometimes go and check them. You know. So like perceptions, 182, position, hides class member. Ah, could not be compiled. He said could not be compiled. Okay. We have to check why. It could be just that there are some function not properly returning a value. Let me check. Boom, 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 boom. Errors. Is it here? Is it in this log or is it in another log? I don't understand. I don't know. Let me search for error here because it's not clear to me what is searching. Cannot open include file command manager.h. What the hell? Cache manager.cpp. I mean, come on. Cache manager.cpp has been compiled already millions of years ago. Why is giving this error now? Command manager? Doesn't exist here. No, it actually exists here. Command manager.h. Well, actually it exists. It's under server. You don't like it? You want a server slash? We are already under server. No cache manager. Where is cache manager? It's under server. Why doesn't like command manager.h? Is here. What's the problem? Oh. Fatal error. Cannot open include file command manager. No such file or directory. I mean, come on. No such file or directory. Are you serious? Command manager.h. What the hell is going on? Why is complaining about it now? I mean, he never complained about this. Why is complaining about it now? Okay, I will start it again. Just I don't know. Maybe the antivirus software was like not allowing to access that file for some reason. I mean, I don't know. Okay, it's giving the same error, I guess. Okay. Cannot open include file command man. Okay. Server temp cache manager.cpp. Why server temp? What is trying to compile this guy? I created. I know why. Okay. Because I copied some of the files under a temp directory, but seems he really doesn't like it. So probably he's trying to compile those files. Oh my god, my Windows Explorer just decided to explode. Okay. Okay, let me try to. Second, I'm nearly there. Nearly there. Okay. I'm here. Quick. So, yeah, I didn't like that because I think that this script is also regenerating somehow. the list of files he has to compile, and since I had a copy of Cache Manager inside the temp directory, what the hell? Still doesn't like it? Boy, server cache manager doesn't exist anymore, okay? Let me tell you something. Let me regenerate the Visual Studio project file, because it seems that this guy is very confused about those two files that I added. Seems to be very, very, very confused. Okay. You reloaded everything. We have our cache manager here. Okay. Everything is fine. Let's launch it again. Let's launch it again. I think it just got confused by that file in the temp directory. That is what happened. That is what happened. It's starting, boys. Let's see if it crashes. No. No. Seems to be okay. Seems to be okay. Seems to be loading. I mean, it's giving some warnings here, but don't care about it. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. It's loading the levels. It's loading the levels. It's starting up. Let's see if the client connects, but I think it will, because the server is doing the majority of the job. You know, it's the one that we are tweaking, adding new pieces, new accessories every day. But the client should be fairly stable. Okay. Yeah, it works okay. It works okay. Nice. So I think we can check in what we did. And now we have to think how to start testing crafting, even if it's in a very simple way, but how we can start, you know. Yeah. Hello, armor. Should be moving. You move? You move, huh? Okay, so I think we are fine. Is our NPC moving or not? Our NPC is not moving. I don't know if something happened. Because if I remember right, she should be moving, right? To that location, in the middle of the plaza. She should be moving. Well, depends on the time of the day. Let me check which time of the day it is. Yeah, probably it's not the right time of the day. That's why she's not moving. Yeah, it's 18, yes. At the moment she does nothing. She moves at around 22 or 21 in the evening, so okay. That's fine. So everything compiles. Pretty good. So let's do something. Let's check in what we have, so that at least it's not, you know, at least it's a baseline. At least we have our baseline. And let's put this in SVN. Let me just check what we have to put in. Character, yes. Inventory, item actor, trade, NPC manager. Player controller base. Why I changed this? Yes, because we added one new method, which is the one that receives the craft message. Yes. Okay. Fine. The Unreal, the Entity Manager, Gems, Block Manager, Work Manager. There are two new classes, two new files. 187k of source code. That's what I'm checking in, boys. 187k of source code. You believe it? So basically this check-in is added work manager. It compiles. Doesn't work yet. Okay, I think we can check it in this way. It's pretty good. So mission number 2, Planeshift server starting, accomplished. We did this. We totally did this. Now the next mission for us, still on the crafting obviously, because we want to test a bit crafting now. The next mission is what is the next mission? The next mission is, so what I want to do, I want to test at least one combination or one transformation. Better would be one combination and one transformation. Okay, so given a certain item, I want to transform it to something else using the crafting code. So yeah, I think our mission is craft something in any possible way. I mean, if it's combination or transformation, the best would be both, right? The best would be both, so we test the majority of the code, right? Combination or transformation, nice. So let's go. The question is, how do we do this? Because we have some prerequisites, you know. We have some prerequisites for this. So for example, first thing we need to understand is, in our database, which kind of processes we have available. My laptop for some reason is heating up a lot. What are you doing, laptop? What are you doing? No one knows. Okay. Nothing is running, but okay. Who cares? So the first thing we need to check is which kind of processes we have, right, in the dummy database, because this is a dummy database, but it's fine. So for example, we can mix something. We need to have a certain skill. Okay, we can put these skills on our character to have a result. Okay, let me check the patterns. Patterns are whey bread or baking. Okay, whey bread I think is fine. Baking whey bread. Okay. Group ID 2, design item ID 71. I think this one is the item that I should have in my book, in my mind. So in the mind slot, I should have this thing. The problem is that at the moment, we cannot, I think, put items in other slots, right? Well, for now what we can do, we could give the items to our character from the database. Yeah, I think it's enough. So if I go under characters, no, if I go under item instances, what is item instances? If I go under item instances, I search where character ID owner is equal to 116, which is my Kranikra. I see that these are the items he has, right? These are the items he has. So we need to add a new item here. I don't know exactly what is the max. Select max ID from item instances. Is 1317. Okay, so we can just add at 1318. So we go and say 1318 character 116 guardian 0, parent item we don't care, position 20, stack count 1, mark we don't care, instance 3, sector 3, location 000, all the rest we don't care, right, basically. Item quality may have an influence, so let's say 50. Item stats ID, so that guy was 71, right? I think he was 71. All the rest we can leave to 0. So if I do this and I apply, I will have my item 71. Now we will have to put it into the mind slot, but I think we can do that later in a second. So trade pattern, so design item 71. So if I go and check 71 is, yes, Garrett's Way bread recipe. You see, there is the book that has the recipe for this thing we want to craft, right? Great. So then what else we need? I have no idea, but let's check what else we need. So we need to check in our trade. So this pattern is number 1. Okay, so we have to check the combinations and transformations which have 1 as process ID. No, 1 as pattern ID or process ID. 1 as, now we need to check here first, and we have to check mix, primary scale, gear page, animation name, some process ID. I don't remember how this thing works, but the problem is that we need equipment as well. Oh my god, equipment is not very easy. We need equipment. We need a work item and an equipment ID. So we need a 70 and a 65. We need a 17 and a 65. What is it? 17 is a bowl and 65 is a wooden spoon. Interesting, boys. So we need a bowl and we need a spoon. It's okay, but is the bowl a container item? Because the bowl, if the bowl is a container item, I think we are fucked, because I don't have container item working yet. So yeah, unfortunately the bowl is a container. Do we have anything else that doesn't require a container? I mean, like a simple transformation? But probably not, huh? I think I need containers in game, that's the problem. Okay, let's try to have, okay, let's add these 2 items and see what happens in game. Let's add a number 70 and a number 65, okay, to our character. 70 and 65. So if I go under item instances, no, 21, 1. 70 Let's just put the quality because I think we need it somehow. I don't know. And the next one will be 1320. $65. Okay, so let me apply, and boom, we have it. Okay, so now if I start the server and the client, because I don't know if I can target that, but maybe I can. I don't know. I think I can target it, but probably I cannot put items into the bowl. Yeah. So I think we need to probably code the containers part before we can actually test crafting. Let's see. Let's see what our player has, and we will check. We will check. We will check, boys. Hello, Cyber. You broke the camera. You broke the movement when you fixed the camera. Okay, that's fine. You fix it back, or you need my help? I don't think you broke movement. I think the movement of the NPC is supposed. I mean, the NPC is supposed to move only at 22 or 21 in the night. So if he's not there, I mean, it's okay. About the camera, I've seen that you probably did some changes, because now the camera is not. You see, she moved. Where is she? She's not there. She's here. She's here. She's moving. She's moving. She's moving around. Look at that. Blah blah blah. She's always going here because she's trying to go to the temple, but there are no waypoints defined. So. No, one thing that I've seen, Cyborg, I think you moved the camera somehow, because if I speak with her, you see that the camera is in the wrong position. Like, is way above her. Okay? I think you did something to the camera system, because I don't know what you did, but maybe you just moved it up. Because there must be one camera which is facing, which is exactly in the face of the NPC, in front of the face of the NPC, which is the one that we use when we speak to actually know where to put our camera. So maybe that one is the one that you messed up. You know? It could be. Okay, let's see our inventory now. What is my inventory? No idea. Where's my inventory? I see. Character. Okay, so we have a wooden spoon, we have a wooden bowl. I mean, we don't have the icons, but it's okay. And we have my recipe. Okay, so we have exactly the 3 items we need. Then maybe we'll need also some components. Now, let me try to see what happens if I drop to the ground. Unfortunately, it's night. Okay, let's go in a place where there is some light. Here there is some light. Okay, nice. Let me see if I drop the bowl, what happens. Because the bowl is actually a container. It seems he really didn't like it. Okay, our server crashed. Okay, GG. Yeah, dropping containers seems he doesn't like it too much at the moment. Why? Because we didn't implement it yet. So it was kind of expected. I hope it didn't crash. It wouldn't crash, but it actually crashed. Did I lose my item? I don't know. Let me check if I lost the item. 71, 70, 65. No, I didn't lose it. So it crashed, but it didn't corrupt the data at least. Let me see what happens. Let me see what happened. Critical error, fatal error. Okay, I understand, but can you tell me what's happening? No. Okay. We have to run it in debug mode and see. We have to run it inside Visual Studio. Ah, here it is. Here it is. So Vortec, receive event, blah blah blah, move from inventory, drop item, set item data. So this is the one that is crashing. So PS item actor 188 is where we have the issue. PS item actor 188. That's weird though. CPP or CPP? 188. Set item data. Item data equal to in item, okay, and then item data set item. I mean, because in item is null, we passed in a null thingy. Could be. PS character drop item. PS character 1555555. Okay, PS character 155555550. I mean, it's here. Associate the logical item to the PS item actor. I think we have to debug this and see what is happening, but probably one of these objects is null. One of these objects is null, unfortunately. So I think this move item to world didn't work as expected. It probably returned an empty object. So let's see. Yes, it can return null if the creation of the item fails. And the creation of the item may fail because we didn't implement the code yet to do it. Most likely. We'll go and check, but I think is for that. Create item, please. Okay. I mean, it was just next to it. Create item. Remove sector from now. Okay. Get location from world. Apparently, merchant likes to arrange similar items on the table without any overstacking. Okay. Cannot stack. Make a new one. Yes, you see it. You fix me containers. So this one we didn't implement yet, so we need to implement it. What is this thing doing? If item instance get is container, which in this case will answer yes, so I will go inside of this. Let me just check the old code, okay? I want to see the old code if it was doing something similar or something completely different. Cannot stack, make a new one, get a mesh with this object. So new gem container, new gem item. But it was as simple as that. It is very different. I mean, all the spawn things should stay the same. Uh, because here it was doing new PS item actor. Okay. Which is basically identical to this one. We're just creating a gem container instead of a gem item, but the actual parameters are exactly the same. So it should be identical to this piece. I think it should. It should be identical to this piece. I mean, you know what? For us, is the same. Probably the only difference is that we are now, because the fact, the information if it's a container or is not a container is included in PS item instance, so is in this thing. So all this part is fine, is exactly the same between the two. So I think we can easily I don't think there is anything else we should do for containers. I think that this piece of code is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Okay, I think that this, and this is absolutely not needed. I can remove it from the code. It's just add the object to all super clients. Okay, I can leave it just for, but I think it's perfectly fine like this. And this one becomes the main part. I don't know if the compiler will complain because this thing is never called. Probably will complain. Let's see. But yes, we were not creating the item, so that's the reason why it was crashing. In case it was a container, I just didn't connect the code, you know, and so it's not doing anything. It was not doing anything. It's compiling, waiting the compilation. Wow, big compilation this time. So now if all goes well, we should be able to drop our container, our bowl. We will see it on the ground as a sack, as a default mesh, but it's okay. Come on, why is it taking so much? What did I change? I changed any class file? No, I changed just the CPP. What is it doing? Waiting. And CPU wise, we are okay. So, well, now it's 94, but before it was like, oh, he's using all the CPUs anyway. See, he's using all the CPUs at the same time, which is great. Okay, it did it. It did it. Now we need to compile also the DLL, the mythical DLL, and then we can launch it. So I think we need to change our mission because, well, yeah, because I think I will need to put one item into the bowl. So or I do it from the database, or we just implement the fact that I can move items between containers, which I think is probably something we have to do. So yeah, so maybe we will do that next, because at the moment containers are not coded, or anyway are not ported. Should not be too hard, I would say, because the code is already there. We miss a way to visualize containers, so I need to add something that is visualizing the container on the client side, which is not trivial, but has to be done. So it's still night. Fuck, I will change the time, but okay, so let's try to drop now our bowl, okay? Wooden bowl. Okay, you see, now it works. Okay, so we have a bowl on the ground, which is a container. So when I target it, yeah, when I target it, I think is enough. The problem is that I will need the spoon in my hand, and I don't think I can move it. Let me try if I can move my spoon to my hand. No, I cannot. I cannot move it. There is another part that we have to do. So we need to be able to equip items. So our we have a number of new missions, boys. We have many new missions. So unfortunately, this mission is not possible at the moment. We need to do a few other missions first, which are related to just items and inventory, you know. Yes. So let me expand this a bit, because we need to move this down. So we will arrive to this mission, but before this, we need to do what? We need to have containers working, which means have containers working, meaning that now let's say be able to view a container content. There is one mission, and the other mission is be able to move items from and to containers. Then we have another mission, which is yeah, we have another mission which is be able to equip. Well, it's not exactly a key, but it's just move it to a slot. I mean, we don't need it. We don't need the spoon to show in our hand. I mean, to be visible in our hand. I mean, that I don't care too much at the moment. What I care is that be able to move items to a keep slots. Right. So, for example, mind and hands. You know, hands meaning if you are holding something in your hands. These 3 missions will allow this last mission to be done. Until we do this, is impossible. Crap! There is a piece of thing here which is we'll never do this. Well, I can do this if I do this. Wow. This is the tricky part. I did it. Okay. So, okay. Right. These are all the missions we have to do, boys, before being able to test a combination or a transformation. Because, okay, work manager is there, but if we cannot view the container content, if we cannot move items to container and from containers, if we cannot move items to a keep slots, mine and end, we will not be able to do our mission. Holy moly. So I think we will save this as Unreal current mission, and we will do it tomorrow. I think today we did good progress. We did mission number 1 and 2. We did these 2 missions, and they were not easy, I tell you. Were not really easy, but we did them. So we will do tomorrow these other missions. Okay, I think that tomorrow evening I can stream, and maybe we can do. Let me think how much time will be needed. I think in 4 hours. In 4 hours, we could probably do. We can probably do these 2, the first 2. Okay, maybe the first 2 we can do in the tomorrow evening. And if all goes well, we can do the other 2 between Saturday and Sunday. Okay, if all goes well. Let's see. Okay, with that said, thank you for watching. I think I'm going, and I will see you tomorrow evening. If nothing happens, I should be here. Yeah, and I will say see you soon, boys. See you soon.